Okay, well, hi there
Hi,
to the
Laura.
world.
Hello.
This is me and Joe Beth. And Joe Beth is a shaman, and I am what I like to call a big fat angel. And I work with my buddy Joe Beth here in mentorship. And this is our podcast that our wonderful friends here have so graciously helped us set up. This is podcast one. And
Podcast one.
so if you're listening to this and you're like, who the hell are these two old broads? Well, maybe we're not old. No, we are. But anyway, we're not ancient. We are just two friends, and we work together. When I say work together, that means that my friend Jo Beth helps me all the time with a myriad of things. So we're just gonna do what we usually do, is where I ask lots of questions because I like to understand things, and my friend Jo Beth tries to answer them without getting irritated at me.
Oh, never. I'm never irritated at my big angel friend. And hey, these bodies may be old, and so are the souls.
That's right.
That's right.
We're matching sets. Anyway, okay. So Jo Beth is a person that I have come to for almost 3 years now. Is that about right?
Over, hasn't it been?
Yeah, and maybe I don't know anymore. And she has helped me really open up my sense of personal spirituality, I guess. And also, she's been an absolute help to me for my family. My family was going through a lot of stuff. Don't feel like that's really something I'm going to put on this podcast yet. But listen, she's one pretty amazing chick, and she helped me while I was sitting the very first time in my minivan, which I don't have anymore.
That's
I'm sorry,
right.
Blue Whale.
In the Blue Whale, you were sitting.
So
Our first session.
The first thing she ever taught me was how to blow up a bubble. So that's where she usually starts with people. It's like, let me blow up your bubble. So Jo Beth, why don't you, like, if I was going to ask you to give me like a 1-minute description of what you do, what would it be?
Well, I was identified as a shaman at age 6. So that made my life, I was walking between two worlds at that point.
Right.
I guess I already was before, because I was able to read people's soul history, their lineages. I was able to tune in, hear their guides, speak with their guides. But it was at age 6 when somebody actually said, oh, she's a shaman, in a little blue-eyed girl, blonde-haired German body.
Yeah, when people say shaman, like a friend of mine told me, I know this shaman, you should go talk to her. And I'm like, okay. And the first time I met her, I'm like, you don't look like one at all. So here's a good and easy question. So I call you a shaman, and I consider myself an angel. So what we're talking about is soul types. So I know now, after all these years of working with you, definitely what's a shaman type. And so how would you break that down?
From everything that I have experienced, there are several soul archetypes, lineages.
Yeah.
They have the predominant characteristics overall of visionary, warrior, teacher, healer.
Right.
But there are also branches that are shamans who have been more on the earth than other places. They're very protective of the earth.
Yeah.
They are all about empowerment rather than creating dependencies in their relationships with people.
Which is a really important point.
It really is.
That is one of the nicest things about you. That one of the best things of working with you is, like, I feel like you've always just been trying to help me get stronger so that I am healing myself. It's not. It's always just a journey with us together. But you're never just fixing me.
Right. No.
And that's an amazing thing.
That's actually kind of unnecessary.
Right.
Because in shamanism, we see nothing but the soul. And we understand that we are soul and body, and that is an aspect and a part of the collective consciousness of spirit, of human consciousness, of essence, source, God, creator, whatever you choose to call it. It's that divine intelligence that animates each and every one of us. So there's shamans, and there are alchemists.
Right.
And oddly enough, yesterday I was reading something. It was a book I was about to hand to one of my clients. And I took a peek at it at the end of my day yesterday, thinking, yeah, I better probably look at this again and make sure this is something I want to give to him. Well, good thing I did, because there was all this reference to alchemists as horrible people.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
And it was a book written around, or written about the fall of Atlantis. And they were talking about alchemy in the way of misuse of power.
Right.
So I just want to clarify that there are a lot of fantastic alchemists out there. Unlike shamans, who are very earthly, alchemists are very universal and beyond universes. They really are tuned in and caring for and stewarding the collective human consciousness wherever it exists. And so, yeah, there's the shamans, there's the alchemists, there are angels. And, you know, you are one of those angels.
Yes.
And angels abound. Sometimes I love to say, are we maybe not angels unto one another? Because this is kind of the place of love that I think we should all attain, get to and be able to live with one another. But you as an angel, you have a little bit of alchemy too.
Really?
Yeah. And you love kind of all of it.
Yeah, kind of.
And that's the way angels are. They love all of it. Some of them are high angels. And unlike, the marijuana high, they are existing far, far beyond this place throughout multiple dimensions and times. Right. And they are really holding us capable to really become our highest essence. Angels are all about service.
And fixing things. Yes, we like to fix things, and we don't see anything bad in people.
And one of the things I don't think that's mentioned often, but angels steward many other clans, like fairies, divas, elven tribes. They really work in coordination with them, so they're very close into those tribes as well. So we go from, where we emanate as one consciousness, endless, infinite, all-knowing, all aware, into these soul groups that have specific purpose, that become a part of our soul lineage individually. And as we individuate into a soul, we can hook up, or we can be a part of multiple lineages in one body as a soul. Right. And we have access to all lineages through that space. Yeah. What were you
like through the Akashic Records.
Through the Akashic Records.
Right. So if you don't know what any of these things are, these are great things to look up. The Akashic Records is a library of what your soul's been doing. And I believe it's manned by octopuses, but that's just my thoughts.
Well, that's because your totem animal might be an octopus, and there are octopuses everywhere in your home.
I love the octopus! Yes, my friend Jo Beth has helped me figure out. Well, actually, my daughter, we figured out what she had. And by the way, if you hear clanking and stuff, it's because we're drinking gin and tonic.
Cocktail hour?
And,
oh, no, Manhattans. You're the only one with a gin and tonic,
right,
baby.
Because that is the superior drink.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so all these things that Jo Beth's talking about, she... I found her because I heard that she was a soul coach. And I went to Gonzaga University and majored in philosophy because it sounded like a good idea. And I make so much money as a philosopher, guys. I'm just rolling in it. Yeah. But anyway, I really, of course, got really into Plato because that's the first guy you read.
Talk about empowerment. Talk about an empower.
But he talks about your soul and oh shoot, I'm too tired to remember the words. The dialectic, sorry.
Yes.
And your soul is who you really are. Yeah. I remember at Gonzaga getting a little bit too drunk thinking, my body is drunk, but my soul is still alert.
My soul is just fine.
So when my friend Jo Beth helped me, the first thing I told her was that my daughter's soul was trying to teach my soul something, and I couldn't hear it.
Yes.
And it's very, very true. I'm not going to go into the story because this is just a podcast.
Yeah.
But
you're talking about a soul contract there.
Yeah. So
and
anyway,
you didn't even know it.
It's pretty amazing, and I think like wherever you guys are at, if you're listening to this, you just have to realize that if you find someone that you can trust that can help you uncover strength within yourself, which is what you did for me, Joe Beth.
Empowerment, right.
Right. And that person is not causing you to be dependent upon them. They are helping you have wings. That's what you should be doing. So, anyway, so I mean, obviously in this podcast, guys, we can't explain to you everything that Joe Beth understands and knows, but that's kind of the point, is just to kind of talk about these things a little bit.
But the whole purpose of the journey for me being a shaman and doing this work is that really at the soul level, everything we need exists there. Everything we need to know, all questions we have. And so to always create an opportunity for people to really understand that level of themselves.
Right.
To be able to tune into it, access, use it.
That you are not just this person that has to go wake up every morning to go to work.
Right.
And, you know, you are not just someone that is stressing because you're worried how your kids are going to end up because you want to make sure they're in this class or whatever, or you're not someone that, you're not just this stuff. You are beyond all this stuff. And this stuff is a wonderful tool that you came down here to learn with. And it's very frustrating. So,
you know, and I think when you were starting with me, the driver for you was that you had a child that you couldn't understand.
Right. And even looking back, it's taken me so long to even get to where I'm at now, because I had so much fear. And I still do. If you'll never meet anyone with as much fear as me.
Oh, yeah, no, that's not true.
But anyway, I think because of the work with you, I've learned, like, if you don't face it, it just keeps coming back to you so much worse.
Yeah.
So
because your
bad.
soul's trying to come in.
Right, which is one of the things I love about what we've been learning. And one of the things that Jo Beth taught me was just there's this great book. What is that one that we love so much? About the warrior, the visionary, the healer.
Oh, Mechanics of Consciousness.
There's an amazing book by this wonderful lady. I don't know where you are, lady.
Hard to find.
I have your
Boston
book.
Carter.
Boston Carter. And it talks about these 4 soul types, and it absolutely 100% will knock you off your butt because...
Core wound, the shadow.
Yeah. Remember, she handed me this thing because I'm a healer. And I read this page, and it was like somebody wrote this about me. It was like that song, Sing or Killing Me Softly with her song or whatever. Yeah, it is. So, you know, when you start figuring that out, it's great, because you start figuring out what has created you in this moment. And you have to look at it like, instead of like, oh, I wish I could go back and change everything. No, you came here for this reason. Enjoy yourself and just go for it. And if you make a mistake, you make a mistake, but it's okay.
And, you know, with kids, with families, it's a very different approach. You know, I'll work with families whose children are exhibiting all sorts of quote unquote bad, unacceptable, you know, not good and, you know, social settings kind of behaviors. And it's never about the child.
No.
It's really more about helping the parent identify the full expression at the soul level that the child is attempting to bring forth, and also the child playing patterns back to the parents that they need to look at, right? And those are the soul contracts. These children come in, we're all souls and body. That's not a little bitty guy, little bitty body guy. That's a soul in there. And that soul is wise, and that soul has absolute power and purpose, and they're here to just help us wake up quicker. They're our greatest teachers.
Yeah, and I remember that thing that we said, it was like a meme, because I like the Facebook still, because I'm an old lady. It said something like, maybe the greatest accomplishment you're ever going to have is raising this child. And it's true. It's like, we're not supposed to have kids as trophies. They're not our robots. We're not supposed to imbue everything of us into them. We're supposed to set a stage or make soil so we can plant this beautiful seed, which they already are, and let them flower.
Yeah, we'll nourish them at the soul level.
Yeah, and it's
Absolutely.
like my own fears caused a lot of what went on for my little one, but she also, I believe, was like, I need to do this so that my family can find one of her best friends, Jo Beth. I hadn't found you yet.
Funny. Yeah. The universe works so phenomenally, amazingly, magically, doesn't it?
Yeah, both of my kids are muses for me.
Yeah.
They are, and for my husband.
Yeah.
And we both see them as muses, and we just treasure them, and we probably spoil the crap or the shit out of them.
Yeah.
But that's okay, because they're never broken.
Well, you adopted two beautiful souls.
Yes.
They're not just bodies.
Well, they found
so
us.
Wonderful. And it just tickles me. I just love to see the way you and Kyle and your family are able to really see your children from that place and allow the space for that to grow and blossom, right?
Yeah. It's really challenged me to not be one of those moms or not that anybody is any certain way, but for me, it was letting go of anger, which was based in fear, and trying to control, and also shame. Like when your kid's having issues, you're shamed, and so I just had to say, fine, right. I own it.
It's a great gift as a parent not to personalize what your children do and the choices they make. It's a great amount of freedom with that.
Yeah,
it's super important.
Well, not that I don't always follow my advice. Let me tell you, but yeah. But this has really set me up for what I would like to do in terms of just wanting to be an advocate for other parents, helping them to be advocates for their own kids, being that support.
Yeah.
But
it's wonderful.
I don't know. Well, that brings me to the idea I had for this initial podcast tonight, which I didn't bring up earlier. I thought I would bring us up to it.
What was that idea, Laura Goslin-Harris?
Well, the idea for tonight was I have a question. Think about people that are pains in the asses. And right now we're dealing with a lot of people that don't agree with each other, right? And sometimes I think that these people are supposed to go through points in their life where they cause friction, because that way the rest or the people around them are inspired and pushed to level up. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's just use an idea of the whole idea of the Karen, which is a horrible thing, because literally the idea of a poor woman named Karen now being called a Karen, I feel so bad because I have a lot of friends that are named Karen. You know what I'm saying? But the whole idea of a woman being just a horrible, the Karen is a person who wants to call the manager because she's not happy with the way things are, right? So you don't even know what this is?
No, I don't know where this is, but oftentimes you will go to those places where I must follow, and I am now getting it. Okay, yes, keep going.
Okay, so
yes, I'm getting
it. A Karen would be for instance, with the whole mask situation. She would walk in and say, "Oh, you have to wear a mask, ma'am." Yeah. And then she'd be like, "I do not have to wear a mask," and she might have a big full fit or whatever, or she might go outside to there's this lady that my daughter and I like to watch, and she's really funny, and she will show these ladies that would bump into people's cars by accident. And then they'll come out and say it's your fault or whatever. Just anyone that doesn't want to take ownership of their own behavior and wants to feel like they...
So victims.
Yeah, but also because I paid for this, I expect this sort of service. I don't need to tip because you didn't give me 3 ice cubes in my water, that kind of thing. So my question is, I think we all kind of want all of us to be okay at all times. As an angel, you want everyone to be happy.
Yeah, you're such an angel when you say that.
It is totally an angel thing.
Yeah, the shamans don't give a shit.
No, you shamans never give a shit.
It's just
I want to save everybody, and you're this is you. Nope, can't save them. And I'm like, yes, we can. Okay. Yes, we can.
Let her buck. It's okay.
No, help her. Give her a snack. She's got low blood sugar. Anyway, so my thing is I just think that there just needs to be a lot more compassion and almost gratitude towards people that cause problems. Okay, here's why.
Sure.
Because if you don't, then it never gives everybody else a chance to level up. And this is what I was thinking about this yesterday. Like, if you watch the show The Good Place, one of the concepts is that you end up in heaven and you're bored. And you should be able to leave when you want to. Because paradise isn't paradise when...
Paradise isn't paradise.
Right.
That's the way we think it might be.
And unfortunately, like, you know, I had a couple experiences this summer that were just horrendous. I won't mention it. But one of them just was 2 days of, oh my God, is this actually going to happen? Yeah. And when it actually went all the way through, it was so cathartic. And I was explaining, it was almost like the chaos and the calls to 911. It was like... You know those burrs that get in your, that like, they have little grabbies and stuff, like a
that
plant?
the dogs get when they're walking in the field?
So all those problems were like burrs, and they grabbed as much negative crap, negative karma that was possible. And when we were done with it all, we all realized that we actually kind of liked everybody.
And it was in family, too, so it was grabbing all the family stuff.
There was some family stuff.
See, that is an angel spin on a situation like that. That is fantastic right there.
Well, I'm telling you, it was so cathartic. And so I'm telling you, like, I was explaining to one member of my family that in the future, when bad things happen, we need to look at it as a blessing somehow, because it helps us really appreciate each other.
Yeah.
And that things do get better. I honestly think we would be bored as... I just think the point of this whole thing of being on Earth is to get through all this stuff. And it all goes back to our original choices of why we came down to this.
You're on to a couple of big pieces.
Yeah, a couple of big pieces.
You know,
big pieces of angel toast.
Yeah, why do we create all this drama?
Why do we?
All this stuff,
Shaman.
all these things,
well,
right?
Here's a question. If you're an earthbound shaman, not earthbound, but you're mostly been on Earth, well, where have I been? Like, have I been to other places as an angel?
You've been on Earth a lot, too. But you don't just exist right here, right now. You have multiple places that you're existing simultaneously and multiple levels. We're not just
talking Earth. Is there a place where I'm really hot wearing a bikini right now?
You know, I always hope that. And in those times of just severe lack of confidence, I have to really muster that connection with that self and that other location on the beach.
I hope you're
with
having
a
a martini.
Gorgeous body and perfect tan. Yep. Or I just become male and then I don't give a shit. Just so okay to, you know, put it on that way too. But
exactly.
Yes. Yeah, you know, you're talking about a lot of beautiful, beautiful concepts there. So why do we create, when we're really here, this is a deep personal philosophy of mine, when we're really here to create heaven on earth,
right?
Why the fuck do we do it this way?
Well,
there must be a purpose.
Honestly,
there must be.
You've watched that Loki show, eh?
Yes, I love the Loki.
Okay, so like I'm thinking that really tapped into something.
It is. It's really a part of why we do it. It's got to be a part of why we do it.
I think kind of we are all variants. That would apply to all the different. Think about it.
We all get to choose a timeline.
Right, but if we're all variants, we're all, we have many other parts. There's many other Lauras and JoBeths. So
by other names.
But the Loki is right there. Why do things happen? You know, I mean, we can go on and on, but like one of the things I'm always like is like, oh, you know, I'm sorry if you like this person, but like Captain Trump, you know, no offense.
I wish you're going there.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm saying everyone would be like, well, why did this have to happen? And I honestly think he's a manifestation of all of our collective consciousness.
That's exactly it.
Right.
He's the Judas in our time.
And we kind of need a Judas sometimes.
We do need a Judas.
I hate to say it because like...
We've got to be rocked out of our sleep. We must be awakened now. Right. And it takes a whole heck of a lot when we've become this dense and this separated and divided.
Right.
And because none of that's true.
Right.
We are one. That's it.
Right.
We live in this great, big, beautiful dream that we've created together. And what are we doing here? We have a choice in every single minute to choose joy or misery, heaven or hell. It's all within us, all the time. Yeah. And I have developed a tremendous, tremendous amount of compassion.
Right.
And patience.
Which is so much...
And love from that, right?
Yeah.
And it's fine. And I love our dream, our collective co-created dream. I love being in physical body.
Right.
I love walking on the grass barefoot. Smells, tastes especially. All
Yes.
of it, right?
Yes.
The feels,
Yeah. Just having, walking into a room and seeing your kids while they're sleeping,
Oh, God, yes.
having your dog
Yeah.
lay down next to you and have this big sigh when they, or just holding your partner's hand or holding your own hand if you don't have a partner.
If you don't have a partner.
But just knowing that someone loves and appreciates you, those are the things that matter. But we get so caught up in so many different other things, and that's okay. I feel like we deceive ourselves out of fear.
Absolutely. It's only two things, love or fear.
Right.
All exists within itself. And when we project into all these little tiny bodies from a great big massive collective consciousness, we're not really separate. We're still joined, but boy, we can have a lot of adventures.
Yeah.
In human bodies.
Yes, you've had a lot. Me too.
Yes,
probably
that's
not
a part
as
of
many
it.
as you are.
That's a part of it.
I'm just kidding. That's because you're a shaman. Yeah. Well, I mean, so I guess go back to my question. Like, how necessary are the people that cause the problems? I honestly think,
very necessary.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right. They absolutely are.
It's
because it's all, everybody has that place, that part that they play.
As much as how serious this is and everything, there's so much humor in it. It's just so funny.
I think that's a part of why I wanted to do this, because you and I have these conversations all the time. We're pretty fearless where we have these big talks.
Right. I don't care.
All the time. And it's just such a delight. I don't often, and I mean this with all humility, it's just that I'm kind of a hermit. Yeah. And so to actually have, a new, 3 years, but, new best friend where I can just be funny and actually really get goofy.
Yes.
And be free about it. So, because I do have a serious nature.
Well, it's easy to be fun with you. Yeah. Let's see. Someone's coming in. So we're in my basement in my house. Entering the room. Maybe that sparkle just sparkled. So my dog,
you are officially part of the podcast.
I think animals are definitely big deals when it comes. Sparkle, you're going to break everything. She goes around to each one of our family members and makes sure that they're okay all the time. Yeah. That's one of her things to do. I swear she just clears off negative energy.
If we didn't have animals, I don't know what we'd do.
I think animals are full on angels. I really do.
Absolutely. Such a gift. So what shall we end our evening with? This was a nice first. What else you want to talk about, LGH?
Well, any topic is fine. And I think when we put this out there, just remember, this is our take on this. And I'm not going to call it a supermarket spiritualist, but, you have to work with what works for you. And you have to be okay with what works for you. So, I definitely don't...
so many ways into this work as, individual souls. We each have our own frequency.
Right. And there's no judgment on anyone that might think that we're,
weird, because we are.
We are. If you want to burn us on the stake, weirdos. Sorry. Yeah, we're really
already had that happen.
Yeah, and
been there, done
you'd
that.
have to build a really strong thing for me to be on.
That's right.
You need a lot of wood to burn me.
That's right. Me too, baby. Two of us together, that'd be a bonfire.
That would cause a 3-alarm fire.
3-alarm fire. We should probably not talk about fires when it's really serious out there right now.
I know.
Oh my goodness. But, we love you, firefighters. I was
yes.
one. We love you.
Yes. Well, you were one for a while.
I was one. We love you.
I think the point is that you will come to some point in your life where the basic mode of operation that you learned will not work for you anymore. And when that happens, it's soul crushing. And that's when you have to try to find a way to get help.
Yeah, and what you're talking about there is so perfect, because it feels so painful, and it feels so awful, and every piece of it is just awful. And the point being, your soul's just trying to grow you. There's something not working. There's something that isn't fitting. If we're here to bring more of this part of ourselves forward, it's just given us that gentle push. And if we choose to see it as that, make that choice to re-perceive it as that, then we can start this journey.
Right.
And it's a fantastic journey.
Right.
I never get tired. I never get tired of experiencing each person as a soul and helping them start to unwind all of the things that aren't that from them.
Right. And that's one of your true gifts, I think, sweetheart, is that you, and by the way, when you call me your best friend, it makes me so happy. I'm just so honored. But anyway,
because my other best friend who died brought you to me,
yeah,
so I know that.
I try to talk to her and I'll tell her, will you stop making me eat so much? Anyway.
That's right. She was really big.
But yeah, and she was into drama and improv and all that stuff, which is crazy. Yeah. And she didn't shave her legs.
Nope.
But I think that, you know, one of the things you're really good at is untangling people. Like I sometimes feel like when we're really stuck, it's like we're those sweet little turtles that are tangled in these nets. Yeah. You know, and we create our nets.
We do. We kind of create a lot of
like.
this,
There's no victim. I mean, I get it. Like
no
I don't know.
Victims, no
it's a tough one to swallow. The no victims one.
It is. No victims, no accidents is really hard to swallow. But yeah, you know, and there's a timing to that when you start to understand it. So I think really going forward with this too, that we can have people, you know, reach out to us with topics that maybe they want to go a little deeper into.
Right.
We can have people come on and ask questions, you know, or have special guests that do other stuff.
Special guests that like do painting, and then the podcast will be really fun.
Then we'd have to go to video, and that's what we're resisting with every ounce of our being.
I don't mind resisting it, but anyway, yeah, we can do all those things. I think we should do some recordings in our favorite Mexican restaurant.
Cafe. Yes, we could be traveling. Angel and Shaman could travel.
Yeah.
I bet that should be what we call it, don't you think?
Yeah. Maybe the Shaman and the Angel.
Shaman and the Angel.
Put you first.
Yeah, well, no. I don't know.
We go alphabetical, then it'd be the Angel and the Shaman.
I was going to say the Angel and the Shaman is just fine.
Okay. That's fine with me.
It's totally fine.
We'll make t-shirts.
Yeah, right.
We should have drinking glasses also.
And yeah, drinking glasses for sure. Yes.
But yeah, I just treasure you, and I love that we can just talk about things, and we haven't even got to the heavy stuff where all the way like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, well, that's for another time, not our first cast here. Our first podcast.
Like, you know.
Clearing of entities, all that real serious stuff.
No, this is just like, I think though, my advice to anyone listening to this is if you are lucky enough to have people in your life that are on the same frequency as you, that you resonate with, or that just basically means when you're with them, you feel like you're home. Yeah. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Unless you feel like your home is horrible, then maybe it's time to level up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Time to move.
Yeah.
Time to move.
But that's it from the angel, the big fat angel and the shaman.
And the shaman. Stop calling yourself Big Fat Angel.
I'm talking about my wings. Thank you very much.
Oh, those. All right.
My wings
God, you got me there.
Yeah. So, you know, blow up your bubble.
Yep,
we'll probably show you what that means.
Oh,
Sparkle.
Sparkle.
Time to go. She wants to go outside and go eat something. That's a good girl. That's a good girl.